All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this bonus episode of the Jboy Show. Whether you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And I want to talk about this Rush Propst thing. If you haven't heard, there's been leaked audio of Rush Propst basically accusing two of the top teams in the SEC. And I'm not going to get into particulars. I'm not going to say names of cheating and recruiting. And in my opinion, this is a smokescreen because of what Rush Propst is involved in. You remember the deal at Hoover about the multiple family situation. You look now kind of in some hot water about the way he's handled funds from the boosters at the high school he's at now. And it's just such a coincidence to me that this were to come out right when all this is happening. And it seems like a smokescreen to me. It seems like something to try and take the eyes off the wildfire by calling it a bomb threat into a building in the town. And I don't agree with it. Again, and I want to say this. There are a lot of alumni at these places that are very wealthy, that accumulated this wealth way before any of these coaches got to these institutions, a long way back. One of them, especially that was mentioned in the video with the initials AC. That's what I'll say. And these are some of the most passionate people about their universities and are willing to do whatever it takes and feel like they fall outside the realm of being accountable in order to do what they think is necessary to put their team on top. And what's the easiest way to do that? What's the best way to do that? By getting the best recruits, by getting the best players. So when anything like this happens and everybody goes, ooh, it's like when you get called to the principal's office, everybody in the class, comes over to the speaker. It's like, hey, I need Jake Crain in the principal's office, which happened a couple times. Everybody goes, ooh, that's kind of like what it's like. And I want people to realize that this stuff does go on. We're not naive. I know what goes on. You know what goes on. But the level of sophistication, it's these guys are very smart. They're very smart. And some of these coaches, when some of the stuff happens, are totally oblivious to it. They're totally oblivious to it. Whether that's being able to use plausible deniability or not, a lot of it is handled by outside sources, outside forces, and it gets handled. And again, is it right? No. Should a college kid get paid illegally? Like I said, illegally. I'm not talking about for branding and likeness and all this stuff. To go to college? No, it should be a level playing field. But we're also not naive people. And a lot of people do it. But for a guy like Rush Propst, and I'm asking you to come on the show, Rush. I'd love to get you on the show because I think the audio was leaked on purpose to take eyes off of what's going on, as I mentioned earlier. But to put somebody on blast like that and say specific names is not only not a good look, it's dangerous, to be honest with you. And if I'm a guy that was mentioned in that video, I'm pretty upset. Where's the proof? If you're going to say something like that, Rush, you need proof. And if you got proof, then so be it. But I want people to understand it's not like day one, the coach goes, all right, guys, and gets on the board and he goes, here's our recruitment payment plan. Here's how we're going to do it. This isn't a CIA operation. A lot of it is handled behind closed doors by people that never meet, and it is exchanged in cash. That's very hard to trace. So I just want our audience, we're always saying win the water cooler, right? We want to be I want you guys to be the most informed audience that there is. And that's why we're one of the fastest growing sports shows in the country, and we're not stopping anytime soon. And I can say it happens because it does. But in this instance, if you're going to leak that audio, number one, and if you're recording somebody saying that and then leak it, shame on you. Shame on you. But I just don't think that's the case in this case. I think this was leaked for a reason. And like I'll say, Coach Propst, never met you, got no problem with you, other than this stuff disturbs me to hear it being said like this. So come on the show and show us the proof. And if not, stop putting people on blast for no reason because of something that you did. Because that's not how it should go. And I'll say it again. Kids should not be paid illegally to go to college. It shouldn't. Shouldn't happen. Does it happen? Yes. But get off your jump to conclusions, Matt, if you are. Now, people say, well, the NCAA, well, will they investigate this? They've got powers. There's nothing the NCAA cannot do from an investigative standpoint other than subpoena power. Really. If you fall in that NCAA realm, which I don't think the Power 5 will be for much longer, but if you fall into that realm, they can come and investigate. They can go in there and start looking around. And if they do and they find something, then so be it. But I just want everybody to kind of know where I stand on this, because this is something that, coming from a guy like this, like Rush Propst, if you're going to talk, you need to walk the walk. And I want to give you a chance to do that by coming on here and explaining either that conversation was in jest, which I don't think it was, or really who leaked it. Because I think that's what everybody wants to know. Because I know there's people right now in Tuscaloosa and in Athens that are not happy. And you called out people specifically. So just want to let everybody know where I stand on that. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We got more coming. Like I said, Coach, come on the show. I'd love to have you on the show to talk about it and kind of get your side out. And if something bad's happening, it needs to be taken care of. It needs to be looked into, and it needs to be handled. So that's where I stand on it. It's been another edition of the Jboy Show. And Jboy's going, gone.